Hello, Black Eagles, and everyone else watching this video. This is a sort of public service announcement in a sense. If you like watching Turkish football, whether it's Besiktas, Fenerbahçe, Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, Alanyaspor, it doesn't really matter who you support. This is something that two of my close friends recently have gone through, and I just wanted to warn people because this is well, it's quite serious, potentially financially for some of you, depending on how financially secure you are. But mainly, it's serious, I think, because it's a form of perversion in Turkish football. I think it's one of the big issues in Turkish football. A couple of years ago in Turkey, they passed a law. I believe it's called the 6222 law or something. Essentially, what that means is that if you insult someone online, you can be taken to court. Now, whether or not you agree with that law or not, that doesn't really matter. The issue is, I think, in this particular situation where referees, Turkish referees, have taken that law and have, I believe, wrongfully are abusing it. I truly believe they are abusing it. Because what they are doing is whenever they have a bad performance, let's say a couple of years ago, a certain referee, who I will not name, had a particularly bad showing against in the match Alanyaspor Besiktas. He sent off a player from Besiktas at I believe 3-0. Besiktas were 3-0 up, and he sent that player off. In the second half, Alanyaspor managed to equalize and made it 3-3. Now, the sending off was wrong. It was a bad decision. I don't recall whether it was a direct red or whether it was a second yellow card, but I do remember that the unanimous agreement, in the post-match talk shows and stuff like that, was that it was a wrong decision. That was a very impactful decision, and two of my friends at the time sent a tweet. Didn't at the person, they did not use like his at or anything. I mean, I don't think many referees are on social media to begin with, at least not under their real names. But they said, oh, you know what, this guy is really a yavşak, which means, he's geschreven, is what we say in Dutch. Well, anyway, it's not something. It's not something super bad. It's like, this guy's like, this is right in the head. Another friend of mine said something else. I don't know exactly what he said. Maybe he said sheriffs or something. I don't know. I don't think he said anything that serious. But even if he did, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Now, again, they didn't at him or anything like that. They just mentioned his name, and they said that. Now, what happens is Turkish referees, whether they have legal counsel or they do it themselves, they actually go and they vanity search their names on social media. So they actually go out of their way after a match, a particularly poor performance of themselves, and they look up their names on Twitter, X, whatever, they look up their names and they mark all these tweets, all these messages, all these posts of people who, defamated them, who insulted them online. And one by one, they are putting a legal team on this and suing these people. These people, once, if you live in Turkey, 100% getting sued, as long as, obviously on social media, if you're under your real name, because they have to be able to find your identity. So if you have your name somehow linked to your account, they will find out through a court order or whatever. One of my friends even, he lives abroad. He doesn't even live in Turkey, but he does have Turkish citizenship. And they sued him. He just got called over. I had to appear in court, I believe last week. Another friend of mine had to appear in court today. And usually it'll end up costing you about 30,000 lira, which is, I think it's around 800 euros or something like that. Now, for, that's a lot of money. You know, that's a lot of money for people in Turkey. That's a lot of money for even people, you know, living outside of Turkey. You know, 800, you know, euros. That's what? That's like $900 or something if you're in the US. I don't think anyone likes having to pay what is essentially a fine for $900. It's not like, you know, a parking ticket where you get, you know, you have to pay $50. Even that, you know, $50 parking ticket or speeding ticket, that's not something people like either. You know, imagine having to pay 800 euros, $900 for a tweet where you said somebody's not right in the head. And I think what the worst part of this all is now, you know, I think if you're online and you're insulting people and you're trolling and you're being an asshole without, you know, provocation or something, okay, you know, if you're messaging me and you're, you know, calling me all nice words and stuff like that, and I end up suing you, I mean, I would, but wouldn't, yeah, couldn't be arsed with it, but you know, and I sue you, and then you end up having to pay something or whatever, or just like, I get to an extent why this law was introduced, because, you know, Turks love swearing like sailors, and maybe it's getting a little bit too much at some point. But I don't think this law was ever intended to be abused like this, because what the perverse part of it is, in my opinion, is, you know, Besiktas, Galatasaray, Fenerbahçe, Trabzonspor, you know, these clubs, they have millions of fans. You know, they have a super active social media backing. And what this enables is referees going out of their way and purposely making really bad, flagrantly bad decisions in matches, and therefore deciding the outcome of matches, just so that on top of their, you know, referee wages, which they get paid handsomely, just on top of that, they can go and make an extra buck. Let's say, you know, 100 people swear at him online. I think 100 is like, you know, after something like that, if they're like a big bad decision, 100 people, that's nothing, right? It could be 1,000 people, it could be 10,000 people. You have to think, 800 euros per person. How much money could these referees be making with something like that? Now I know, you know, most of that goes to the lawyers. They probably don't really keep all that much, but let's see that they even keep like 100 euros and they do it to 10,000 people. That's, you know, that's what is that? That's like, they do it. Let's say they do it to 1,000 people. That's 100,000 euros. Imagine, you know. That is not, that is like the easiest get rich quick scheme there is, right? How perverse is that? Turkish referees literally have hacked the get rich quick scheme model. You know, they found a way. And not all of them do it. Not all of them do it, because some of them actually take pride in their work, and yeah, they make mistakes and they make bad calls. But they aren't sleazeballs. And, you know, I'm not naming anyone here, but I think this is very, very sleazy. I think this is a very sleazy practice, because what you're essentially doing is you're not doing a good job in the first place. You are deliberately or unwittingly, some, you know, maybe it's unwitting, but I kind of have, like, to me, if you showcase a lack of honor like this by going and suing hundreds of people because you put in a bad performance, you know, I think that to me kind of shows that you lack moral fiber. I don't believe that they kind of lose the benefit of the doubt for me. I think refs who make mistakes and don't do this, you know, at least they have plausible deniability that, oh, you know, my mistake was a genuine human error. You know, and of course that happens, you know, nobody's perfect. But the referees who systematically, it's not just, they don't just go after the people who like, completely went over the line, like threatened them, stuff like that. No, they go after every little thing. And like I said, one of my friends actually doesn't live in Turkey, and a bunch of courts were unwilling to prosecute him because because he didn't live in Turkey. And they kept this going until they ended up finding a judge who was willing to prosecute him. So I think it took about 2 years or something before they found someone that was willing to prosecute him. So like they're going at this pretty crazily as well. Like there's some serious dedication behind this. And I just wanted to warn everyone, guys, if you whether you're supporting Besiktas or you support another team, doesn't matter to me. If you're online, if you're on social media, don't name referees. If you want to swear at them, if you have to swear at them, if you have to write nasty things, just say this ref or something like that. Never ever name their names, because you don't know which one of these guys is a sleazeball. Because some of them really, really are, and I know a couple of them that like systematically go after people. And you know what? I mean, first and foremost, I think if you decide to become a referee, and look, I don't think it's ever okay for a grown ass person to, hurl insults at another grown ass man. I think it's a little, not that I don't do it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I can get angry at refs, but I know you shouldn't. It's not appropriate. But at the end of the day, if you become a referee, that's part of it. And especially when you go up to the highest level. I mean, look, I used to play football. In the youth teams, like some of the stuff parents would yell at, and usually these are young referees, because like, when I was like 16 or 14 or 15 years old, like the refs were probably like 17, 18. Like, not all of them. Sometimes you had some old guys as well, but like some of these were like young kids. And then you had like parents on the sidelines yelling the horrible things. Like that, to me, that is disgraceful. I think if you're like a 30-something-year-old like I am right now, and you're yelling at like a 16, 17-year-old kid, and you're some of the stuff these people say is really, really not okay. That is that's absolutely horrible. My point is, however, if you're a referee, that's part of it. Unfortunately, especially at that level, it should be. At the highest level, you have 30,000 people in the stadium. They're all, and if you make a bad decision, they're all yelling stuff. This is not just in Turkish football. This is everywhere. Maybe not in Japan, because those people are super polite. But like, Belgium, where I live, I mean, trust me, refs get abused in England in the Premier League. Refs get abused in Scotland, in France, in Spain, in Italy, Germany, everywhere. Refs get abused everywhere. The difference is in the stadium, they can't really do much about it. I mean, unless they're going to like introduce like cameras that identify people's faces, and then they have like lip syncing. I mean, I'm not gonna give them any ideas, whatever. But I think it's super, super perverse that these people, some of them, not all of them, but there's a group. There's like 4 or 5 referees who really, really do this really hardcore. And they make a nice living on the side of it. It's the only thing you can really say, right? Like, this is a match that happened, like the Alanyaspor game, I think it was 2021. And this guy is still suing people to this day on tweets that were written. So, guys, if you maybe have some bad tweets where you mentioned the ref's name, and you know what I mean? I think if you're like, it's like somebody who's retired, like Bülent Yıldırım, Berat Aydınus, those guys, I think you're safe. Also, I don't think those guys do that. But there are active referees right now. One of them has been named, by the way, not named, not appointed, but like rumored to be in charge of the upcoming Besiktas Galatasaray derby. Same guy who refereed that Alanyaspor game, by the way. Don't mention his name. So yeah, be careful. And for those of you interested in Turkish football, or just came across this video because it's an interesting subject, I think. Yeah, what do you guys think about this? Do you agree that it's absolutely perverse and that it is something that can be grossly abused and is dangerous for the integrity of football? And the trust in referees across the world is already super low, but in Turkey it's sub-zero, I would argue. And these types of things only make it worse. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you. Bye bye.